Hello everybody, and apologies for being a little bit late, but my streaming service simply did not want to work, so I needed to reboot a little bit. But we're live. And there is still plenty of recap to go through just yet. So bit by bit we're getting there, and in many ways we are just in time. So hello everyone, my name is Tom Collihew. I am a pro wrestling journalist, and I think at this point we can effectively call me a streamer. I think we can use that word nowadays. Because, you know, what I am and all that jazz. So I think that fits the mould, as it were. But hello, welcome, and I hope everyone's looking forward to this week's Smackdown. This week's Smackdown is built entirely around the Usos and RKBro. RKBro en route to Smackdown tonight. So it's not going to be very... It's not going to be very Smackdown specific, is what I think I'm trying to say. It's going to be very Raw-centric, given that probably about half hour of the show is just going to be dedicated to, oh, this is what happened on Raw. And this is basically where we still are. The Usos, of course, left RK-Bro laying on Monday Night Raw, and for everything that's happening on SmackDown, the issue is that SmackDown doesn't have enough people, so they are drafting them over from Raw. Now, I do want to make people aware that my streaming service does not seem to be working for the actual chat yet. My multi-stream is, let me just say, having none of it. And as usual, my BT Sport is fucking terrible. So, I may need to do a few resets, find out what's going on there. Even maybe one day just entirely reset the system, but we are where we are. Hello everyone who's jumped in and said hi on Twitch so far. Hello Moxie, says acknowledge me. Sammy vs Drew was announced, says Sean. Also hello. And Moxie also says I feel like we're going to get Roman versus Randy not today but before SummerSlam. Would make sense given the people involved that they would go to war. Ed and Jermaine are here as well, saying hi Tom and happy Friday Night Smackdown. And Ed says, are we ready for a Tom time? Kinda yes, kinda no, in that nothing is really working or loading at the moment, and that's causing me some issues. So hopefully I'll be able to work that out across the course of the show and we can get our multi-stream working. Or it's just all going to break. One or the other of those things is going to happen. Let me try this change first. I'm going to reset my browser entirely, because ultimately RK-Bro are on their way down, and that's basically it. Multi-stream service still not working, so that's not great. But not much I can really do about it. If I close this, it's going to stop the stream. Are you sure you want to exit while live? Well, no, I'm not. But I also kind of have to reboot. So I'm going to have to take the risk. I need the multi-stream or I can't keep up with the chat. I'll be back in just a second, guys. Let's see if it actually has. And see how that goes. Welcome back, everyone. Apologies for that brief interlude, as it were. If you've, in fact, found one, I have no idea if there even was a brief interlude for any of you. I've just kept talking rather than take the risk, to be completely honest. And hopefully the multi-stream will work now and people who say something will pop up there, because when I'm streaming and watching via the same system, YouTube simply does not tell me what's going on. It does not tell me what's going on outside of that. I have no idea if anyone would be saying anything because of the multi-system, so there's no dodging it. There's no way around it. I do of course still have to, okay, it's still loaded what's being said on Twitch. I of course still have to reopen SmackDown, so whatever's happening, I've just lost the first 10 minutes because the technology that I'm using is imperfect, should we say. Let's just go imperfect, and that's the fairest way to describe it. But hey, at least it's just RK-Bro. It's not like it's different there on SmackDown or anything. It's not like it's unique or it stands out in any way. No. But this is usually why the PS4 comes upstairs. Drama. I'm trying to get things working. Multi-stream is working. Okay. Multi-stream is working. That's a massive improvement. Sean says, saw a picture that was posted of LA Knight. He is managing Mace. That sucks. And Simon says, Hangman retained the AEW World title in a really great, violent, bloody, brutal Texas deathmatch hardcore match. A lot of adjectives there. And Sean says, someone at the arena posted the picture. This is, of course, the one of LA Knight managing Mace. When it comes to WWE, everything is always leaked, as we all know. Everything will always be leaked and has always been leaked, and there is unfortunately no escaping the news, as it were. We have what we have. Right, let's see now if I can get this working so that I can watch the show. For anyone who watched the show earlier, the Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Asuka and more WWE Returns incoming show, thank you kindly. That show has done very, very well. And it will continue to do well over the next day or so. We tend to get views later on the next day, more than we do actually at the time. Just because a live show, YouTube doesn't really know how to advertise much. Whereas once it's already been made live, we'll see how that goes. Hey, it's the Usos. I know it says Street Profits because it was taking forever to load and they're in bright red. But then I realised they're wearing t-shirts, so it definitely isn't. Big boo for the Usos. Okay, now I think we can say now that we're properly live. Like, properly live. So I missed myself a promo, but that was about it. Simon says, this should be the only thing I've missed. Hey Tom, Sasha vs. Rhea up next after opening promo dream match. Fair enough. Cool. Okay. I like where we're going. So what I've done to get this working, essentially, is I've closed my monitoring and my tracking on YouTube. So I have no idea how many people are watching, no idea how many likes we've had. No clue. But BT Sport's working. It's telling that they're using SmackDown Superstars on Raw and Raw Superstars on SmackDown. Today's apparently release day and there haven't been any. This is why. Why are the Usos so out of breath? I like that there is no fear here with Randy Orton. No fear at all. Why are you so out of breath? I don't understand. Considering the crowd were booing them pretty heavily when we set off, that's some good crowd participation, and Randy Orton is not happy. He wants to strike. Sean says it's Randy Orton. He never shows fear. He does not. That is fair. Usos basically go over their catchphrases, everyone chants along, and then boo. Randy there saying, I respect your whole family, and Matt Riddle just goes, yeah, I don't. Randy Orton just going for it. This is beautiful from Randy. I thought the Usos were doing a good promo, but my word. Sean says, do you think Roman has influence in the Usos booking? He does, but he also, to be fair, doesn't really use his influence in his own booking. Paul Heyman does. But Roman basically just lets it happen. Doesn't really argue all that much. Can't wait for the rap battle between these two teams. Usos are sort of manoeuvring to leave now. Just a good pop for the segment. That is a damn good start to a show. And the Usos are leaving. Can't wait for the rap battle between the Usos and RKBro. And that seems like it's where we're ending on that one. Oh, no! Usos taking an opportunity here. Randy took his eye off the ball. There are 3 veterans in this feud. And they took advantage of it. That was clever. Just reminding everyone who the bad guys are. Nobody needed that reminder, but they reminded anyone regardless. No Roman just yet, but that is a very good opening 15 minutes from what I saw. I do have to say from what I saw. Naomi and Sasha are backstage and they are bright green. Naomi just referred to the Usos, but in passing at best. I don't know if we can call that a hint, but I would like it if we could. So we are starting with Naomi versus Rhea Ripley. Which is not a match I ever thought I would see, gotta be honest. Sean says, just me on the Twitch chat, very strange. It is a bit strange, but I think it's because I had to restart. I think quite a few people will have gotten the notification and then come on and then I'm not actually on. It's not unusual, unfortunately. I had a few technical issues. It happens. This may be low attendance, but it will be a show nonetheless, after all. There is a Smackdown to respond to. Jesus Christ, they are bright. I enjoy the rave aspect, I really do. Moxie says Sasha and Naomi would be great in the bloodline. They would have to go heel for it, though. I think that's the thing that people keep forgetting. They would have to go heel. So Sasha in the bloodline, certainly she can line up against Ronda. But I don't think people are going to be that willing to boo Sasha. They're just not. It's Sasha Banks. There would be a struggle in order to get people to boo them. It's not like Xavier Woods with Kofi Kingston. He just made that happen by sheer force of will. Oh, okay. Okay. Someone has responded to a tweet, Ryan Sullivan, saying, I've rap battled Super King of Bros. Okay, well now I'm suddenly serious about the whole thing. If we actually get a rap battle, I'm obviously going to lose my shit. That's just the way it is. Megan, hello. Says, hello, I'm here and I'm mad at a stupid and random decision from that demented tree who runs WWE. Okay, Megan, talk to me. Talk to me. What's happened? What's happened? Sean says, I think Naomi should be helping the future. She's a veteran in WWE and I think others could benefit from it. Well, to be fair, that's probably in the same way that Natalya is, in that she's actively wrestling while doing so. There's nothing to say that Naomi can't do exactly that. In order to get everything running smoothly, I have had to get rid of a few things. So I don't know how many people have liked or subscribed to this particular video and or channel. Pardon me. So if you have not clicked like yet, please do so. I'd be very much appreciative. Megan says, what in the hell are they doing with LA Knight? Apparently bringing him as a manager. So here's the thing. I'm immediately rejecting the concept. But then I think LA Knight faction versus Edge faction. And I get very, very excited. Jermaine says, according to Fightful, the match was supposed to be Rhea Ripley versus Sasha Banks with Liv in Rhea's corner and Naomi and Sasha. But now they've changed it to Rhea versus Naomi. Interesting. This is not the first time. Was it not last week the exact same thing happened with Fightful's report? I suspect that WWE may be working out exactly who is leaking this information to Fightful with a few selective choices. I suspect they may be finding out exactly who is doing that leak. Megan says, I'm going to be mad until LA Knight makes it make sense, if he can. That's the thing. It would be down to him as well, wouldn't it? He would be the one who has to make it make sense. There's no real reason for him to pair up with who he is paired up with either. It's awkward. Jared says, what rap battle are you tweeting about, Tom? Well, Jared, you know how Usos and New Day had a rap battle? And I believe it was Usos and Sheamus and Cesaro, the Bar, had a rap battle responsible for Ice Shamey, maybe in the New Day. Either way, imagine a rap battle between the Usos and RKBro. Now imagine if it was actually good. Changes everything. RKBro are looking for the unification match. Hello, gamer. How the devil are you? I do indeed remember you. Welcome back, man. Adam Pearce is pitching something. Okay, and we've got what they always do with tag team feuds. One member goes up against one member. It's a one member off. It's member versus member. It's not new and unique, just to be clear. Gamer likes Mace. I don't dislike Mace, just to be clear. I just don't think there's a storyline reason for LA Knight to be working with him. They're going to have to make it make sense for me. If they ever change Ripley's theme, I've got a real issue. Because Rhea Ripley's got it. Rhea Ripley's all smiles again in her partnership with Liv. Liv seriously cannot work out this timing. She just can't. Bless. Megan says the story is dumb, and I at least hope LA is getting a decent fitting suit out of it. Well, to be fair, of all things, the one thing you need is just a good suit. As long as you've got a good suit, you can go far. Sean says, think we'll ever see the pairings on Smackdown? What pairings are those that you mean? So on Raw, we're once again going to have a go. Naomi and Sasha versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Could the delay be down to a knock that maybe Sasha's carrying? It's not an impossibility. Gotcha, Sean. Yes, we will. Now, don't get me wrong. It was undoubtedly a tryout for LA Knight to see how he worked as a manager. But it's LA Knight. He will have absolutely aced it. Gamer says, what did you think about Logan Paul? I thought he did really good, actually. I actually really enjoyed that match. I feel his heel work was just perfect. Exactly what we wanted. If he decides to return to the WWE, and the WWE definitely want him to, I'd be very excited by that. Megan says, if you can't enjoy the story, I can at least appreciate some good tailoring. And I think that's fair. Ultimately, this is why I own several suits, because you might not like me as a person, but damn if I don't look good, you know? You know, that's the important thing in life. Sean says, was it true Rhea missed Raw because of COVID? Not that I've heard. Haven't heard anything about that. Literally haven't heard a thing. The gamer says Logan Paul versus The Miz next event. If Logan Paul became available, then they already have the storyline set up. It's just a question of Logan Paul making himself available to the WWE. They've left the door wide open for him. Wide open. If anyone is currently watching on Twitch and have not yet subscribed on YouTube, I'm going to link in so that you guys can. Every subscription makes a massive difference, and it's really helping us grow right now. So if you can subscribe on YouTube as well, please consider doing so. It's absolutely free. I will be creating and uploading a video tomorrow that I'm going to be pushing pretty hard, and I'm already feeling quite proud of it before it's even finished recording. We are going to be examining the details and the reporting around Cody Rhodes' move from AEW to WWE. We're going to be going in depth. We're going to be saying what reports were right, what reports were wrong. We're going to be providing a timeline of reports, telling you who reported what first, and thusly from there. I'm excited for this one. I think it's going to be one of those that makes everyone look at wrestling journalism just a little bit differently, and makes them look at it a little bit closer to how I look at it when it comes to some of the mess that is the wrestling journalism field. That video will be released tomorrow, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. In the meantime, we have ourselves a commercial break. Rhea Ripley and Naomi, so far more high-flying than I expected. Bit more intense, but there was definitely at least one botch there. Gamer says, for some reason, why do I think Randy will turn on Riddle? Because he's Randy Orton, and every single second of his career so far suggests exactly that. It's like Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. They were always going to break up. They were always going to betray each other. That's just how it works. Jermaine says, WWE said through the commentators on Raw that Rhea was in protocol. That's why she wasn't available for last Friday and this past Monday. What does protocol mean? What does protocol mean? Wiggly says, oh, hey, yo, Wiggly, how you doing, mate? And Moxie says, I think Riddle will turn on Randy. That would certainly be a surprise. And a bit of a disappointment as well, because Randy betrays. That's what he does. That's what he do. Sean says, I watched an interview with Johnny Gargano. He said he has a great relationship with everyone in NXT. He hopes the door is open for a return. It is. And he said his main reason he left is because he wanted to be home with his son, revealed his farewell promo on NXT wasn't scripted. It was not. You can at least trust Johnny Gargano when he said something isn't scripted, unlike certain people whose apparent first promo on Raw wasn't scripted according to them, but in reality it absolutely was. Moxie says, Tom, who do you think will betray who, Seth or KO? I'm saying KO. Oh, absolutely KO. Absolutely. Wiggly says, when is Asuka coming back? I miss Asuka. I did talk about Asuka's impending return earlier on today during spoiler warning, so after this show, by all means, check that out, Wiggly. Gamer says, Undertaker versus AJ, imagine. Okay. Oh, botch. Botch. Oof, no. Oh, he's probably dead. Oh, no. Undertaker's retired now, and he better stay that way. He can't do it. He knows he can't do it. Just stop. Just stop. For me, I'm much more excited to see more AJ Styles versus Edge, more AJ Styles versus Seth, AJ Styles versus Owens. I'm more excited to see AJ wrestle Cody Rhodes. I don't need The Undertaker anymore. No? Rest in peace, dead man. Walk away. But then, of course, he's going to do his podcast, and oh my god. Undertaker versus Vince, Moxie? No. Nope. Vince has no reason to be in that ring. No reason. There was no point in him wrestling. None whatsoever. Just pure ego. Game wants Brock versus Mace. I'm still holding out for Brock versus Priest, but I do think we're going to get Brock versus Sheamus soon. And you know what? I'm okay with that. Despite dropping the championship pretty quickly to Charlotte, Rhea Ripley has been on TV week in, week out. Honestly, I'm very excited for where they go with her. She's got a lot of upside, and she's not just another player. She is being featured cleverly and used well. You can tell they have big things in mind for her. Wiggly says, I was pleasantly surprised just how personal and out of character Undertaker's induction speech was. The Undertaker's gone. The Undertaker is just officially gone. It's all Mark Holloway now. Boss Pedal says, Undertaker buried alive match. No opponent, just get in the hole and pour the dirt on yourself. Yeah, just say goodbye. Just say goodbye. Just stop. Just stop. Moxie says, so Vince can botch a chokeslam. Vince can botch anything. Just stop. Gamer says, AJ versus Cody ambulance match. Why an ambulance match? I'd rather just have a wrestling match first. I mean, you know, let's not go full whack immediately. Wiggly says, when is Io Shirai coming to the main roster? Hopefully soon. She just doesn't seem to want to. It's going to happen. It needs to be soon. Moxie, the last time Roman speared a McMahon, it put that McMahon out of action with a concussion for a while. You're trying to wind me up, and I see where you're coming from. Looking for a top rope riptide. Hasn't quite got her. Boss Pedal says, just stop. It's kind of catchy. Need to make that a regular segment. Could make it a t-shirt. Yeah, you know how we do the, or at least we did, the Bad Vince? We'll do it just stop. You can tell me something that should just stop. And I'll just be like, no, we don't need this. We don't need this. Just stop. Just stop. I could do that. I could do that. Gaming says Stone Cold looked great against Kevin, not gonna lie. Yeah, because he was massively protected, really slow paced, and Kevin Owens sold the shit out of it. Sean says Johnny also said he didn't want to come up because he knew the main roster would change his character. He knew within the last year of his contract he wanted to leave. There's quite a few people who do not want to take the call up. Johnny Gargano is one of many. This match is going the distance. Riptide in play. That should be it. Rhea gets her usual cover, which is serious, and immediately gloats at Sasha. Ooh. Ooh, okay. Immediately gloats at Sasha. Wiggly says, why didn't Victoria have a lengthy WWE career? She had all the attributes. Because at the time, the WWE didn't want women wrestlers. They wanted divas. Gamer says, Cody versus AJ versus Seth triple threat. I mean, I'm not going to say no to that. That just sounds thrilling. Wiggly says, I think I'm ahead of you. Yeah, you will be. My BT is not great. Other people have BT and it works fine. Mine is not great. It may be because I'm streaming at the same time. It makes it lag a little tiny bit. Kayla Braxton is backstage being ignored by the Usos. I miss the Kayla Braxton Paul Heyman segment that we used to get every week. Okay, next up, Madcap Moss. A face now. I miss our weekly segment featuring Kayla Braxton and Paul Heyman. I know Heyman secretly loved every second of it. Gamer says, Tom, WWE back then or now? I say 100% back then. I don't know what you mean by back then. Do you mean like 10 years ago? Because honestly, this is some of the best WWE has ever been. The Attitude Era was notably the worst wrestling in the world. Like, historically, the Attitude Era was the worst wrestling. It's not even a debatable point. You go back and watch any Attitude Era Raw, it was terrible. Wiggly says, I'm no fan of Mr. Murdoch either, so it's lose-lose. I get you. I get you. Sean says, who's excited for Roxanne Perez, or Roxy, debuting on Level Up tonight? I gotta be honest, I really like Roxy, really like her work. Not gonna watch it. Just level up, I'm not gonna watch it. Well, gamer, as I say, I rate this particular batch higher. The wrestling is higher quality. The production value is a lot better. And while, yeah, some of the storylines are different and maybe a little worse, I think the overall characters are a bit more interesting. Moxie says Smackdown before the draft was the best era of WWE ever. I don't know. Smackdown right after the brand split with Dean Ambrose and AJ Styles wrestling for the championship, and the Wyatt family with Randy Orton. That was some pretty good shit. Simon says, hashtag Fightful. Sean Ross Sapp got it wrong, Tom. It was Rhea versus Naomi. They absolutely protected, spared Sasha from losing on her hometown. Really appreciate that. The great match from Rhea versus Naomi. Yeah, the report that has been quoted in here was clearly wrong. That does happen. Someone7 says, how's SmackDown been so far? Pretty good, Someone7, firstly. Welcome. The opening promo between the Usos and RKBro was just great fun. Just really good fun. I really enjoyed it. And the opening match, also quite fun. Moxie says 2017 Raw was good. It was, to be fair. It was. There was also a wonderful phase in the rise of the man when we had Orton versus Hardy. We had Becky versus Charlotte. We just had good stuff. Sean also agrees 2016 SmackDown was great. And Gamer says I kind of missed Dean Ambrose and mad things he did. Sean says Fightful got it wrong about Monday also. They said Finn versus Damien and we got AJ versus Damien. Funnily enough, that shows a bit of a trend, doesn't it? I do think the WWE is flushing out Fightful source. I stand by it. Patrick Ballantyne, welcome. Says Naomi elevating Rhea Ripley, great match. Something Alexa Bliss wouldn't do, elevate young talent. I mean, that's just not true at all. That's not even slightly true. It's just no. Sergio says, hey Tom. Hey Sergio, how you doing? Simon says, Rhea gets the win now, gains the momentum before she turns on Liv Monday, joins Edge's Grand Jury stable. I mean, that is clearly what you think is going to happen. Moxley says, 2018 Raw when the Shield was there was amazing. The Shield reunions were overplayed, but they were also very good. Just very good. Jermaine says, I still believe Sasha and Naomi are retaining. Believe it will be a clean win with Liv Morgan eating the pin. Rhea being pissed and beating up Liv. That seems to be the storyline that WWE are telling so far. Sergio says, the John Cena return rumours true. No idea. No idea, but I do know that it comes from Brad Shepard, so his record is not the greatest. Simon says, who is LA Knight managing? Mace, apparently. So, good old Dio Madden. Gamer says, could you see Ambrose coming back to WWE in the next 5 years? No, I never see Dean Ambrose in the WWE again. The WWE is far more interested in Jon Moxley than Dean Ambrose. Boss Pedal says, yes. The notoriously difficult Alexa Bliss, aka Lady Calloway the Politica. In what way? I don't understand. I don't understand. Do you remember how hard she worked to put over Nia Jax? No? I remember that? Nobody? Nobody remember that one? No? Nikki Cross? No? Asuka and Kairi Sane? That's quite a big feud. No? Nothing? No? I know, mate. I'm just jumping on it for the sake of continuing the plot, as it were. Sean says, if Raquel was always coming up, I don't understand why her and Dakota won the tag belts. It was very confusing. Because Dakota's actual tag team partner briefly became unavailable. And then became available again. Moxie said, the Shield being thrown into an ambulance. Shield versus a whole locker room. Oh, that was great. I don't recall the Shield versus a whole locker room happening in 2018. That was a while back. Wiggly says, what happened to Nia Jax? She got fired, mate. while back. No need to be sorry, Boss Pedal. No need to be sorry. You guys pretty much all have the benefit of the doubt here. I've known you guys at least a little bit. I've learned about your humor. You're all good, funny people, so you're always going to have benefit of the doubt. When I do get a troll, like I did earlier today, guys, I hope we're back. I hope we're back. That was me. That was me. I was trying to press a button, accidentally pressed the wrong button, and accidentally stopped the stream. I do apologise. I very much apologise. I'm so sorry. I'm having a bad day with the streaming today. Gaming says, have you played WWE 2K22 yet, Tom? Nope. Don't think I will. And yes, Drew Gulak is conducting an interview. I can only imagine this is leading to a Madcap Moss versus Drew Gulak feud. I'm confused. Simon says, Alexa gets so much hate for no reason. I think the reason she is hated was because of her friendship with Nia Jax, who is absolutely hated. Alexa just dropped down to the women's tag team division for a few years. Alexa Bliss, some of the hate she gets is from obsessive stalker types. It's a little bit terrifying. Wiggly says, no, I know she got fired. What's happened since she didn't get into trouble for telling people how to fake COVID certificates? She did not, but she's not that interested in going back to wrestling because she hates the fans. With many fans, it's mutual. So it is Moss versus Humberto Carrillo today. Okay, logically, Baron Corbin's going to rush out and beat the crap out of Madcap Moss. Oh God, go away. Stop zooming in. That ain't getting over. Moxie says, remember in Hell in a Cell 2018, when Dean and Drew were fighting on top of the cell, Seth and Ziggler jumping off the cell, and Roman and Braun killing each other inside the cell. That was good. That was good. Although it was a complete non-contest because Brock Lesnar turned up, beat everyone up, and then they just stopped. Megan says, LA Knight is going to manage Mace, and Drew Gulak is going to be a backstage interviewer. What the hell is that demented tree goblin thing doing? I'd imagine just trying to use people. Drew Gulak at least is on TV. That's an upgrade on where he was. And it does mean that eventually he'll be able to find ways to create storylines. LA Knight managing, maybe not so much. Maybe not so much. Riddick Moss has been getting okay reactions. Like, okay reactions. He's going to need more than that to really be the guy, as it were. But he's getting an okay response. I don't think he's face material. I really like him as a heel. I say really like. I tolerate him as a heel. He's a better heel is what I'm trying to say. Let's have your heels. We're about a third of the way through Smackdown. So far I've had one wrestling match and a lot of backstage stuff. Sean says, I wish people would stop with Alexa saying she doesn't care about the future, because that isn't true. Absolutely cares about the future. Will give back. People just need to be patient. That's where people want her out of WWE badly. A lot of people do hate Alexa Bliss. They say it's the popular thing. The popular thing is just to say, okay, no one's good enough. Everyone's horrible. This person's been successful. That means they must be terrible in real life. She's booked how she's booked. She doesn't decide whether she's giving back or not. And recently, she's been giving back. So let's not screw around with that. Let's not make up our own narratives as so many have in the past. Simon says Alexa is a really amazing actress. Best woman mic worker by far. Very underappreciated in-ring wrestler. I think a lot of the crew hates her because of her supposed past heat with Sasha. Which, there is no issue there now. I keep hearing that there was an issue, but I've never seen any evidence of it. Megan says, have Gulak and Knight wrestle each other maybe on the wrestling show? Megan, you can't expect wrestling on a wrestling show. Sports entertainment. Jermaine says, hey Tom. Hi Jermaine. According to PW Insider Mike Johnson, lists the top female babyfaces on SmackDown in this order. Ronda Rousey, Sasha Banks, Naomi, and Lacey Evans. Yep, that makes sense. I don't think he's reading an internal list. I think he's just stating what's obvious via TV, personally. Boss Pedal says Gulak seems like such a Swiss Army knife type employee. He can do everything and seems to have a good track record of training. In a way, he's too talented for his own good. There is such a thing. There is such a thing as being too reliable. Just far too reliable. Moxie says, I forgot we were going to have Jinder today. Jinder gets an Intercontinental Championship opportunity today. Someone 7 says, do you think we'll see Roman? I do. Roman Reigns is planned to be on both Raw and SmackDown going forwards from here. And Jermaine says, Mike Johnson says, top female heel on SmackDown in this order are Charlotte Flair, Shayna, and Sonya Deville. That's a bump up for Shayna Baszler, isn't it? Makes sense that she's probably going to be next for Ronda. Sean says, I don't believe Sasha and Alexa hate each other anymore. Sasha did say in an interview she'd like to team with Alexa. They've both been very open about the fact that they actually really like each other now. They get on. They want to work together. It's been years. They worked together at Great Balls of Fire when there was no issue then. The beef was squashed beforehand. That's in 2016. That's in 2017. Had a moment there and just thought, wait, I'm saying that wrong. But it's okay because we got there. As long as we got there, that's what's important. Simon said I got a lot of heat from some of the crew for being a really big Alexa Bliss fan. She's one of my faves behind Sasha, going to Alexa through an amazing feud with Ronda. I liked Alexa Bliss from the second week of her on SmackDown, gotta be honest. The first week she was heavily scripted. Second week she was a bit more her. I respect anyone who can talk with that level of talent. Kiss cam is in play. I'd like them to kiss a dude. I'd like them to kiss a dude at this point. I mean, you can see exactly who they're going to kiss. But I just, equal opportunity. Do it. Be equal opportunity. Who have we got from our NXT class today? Funny how the kiss cam always goes to exactly the same place. Funny how the kiss cam always goes to exactly the same place. And we never see them again. It's almost like they're planted. But that would be ridiculous. Megan says, diversify the kiss cam. I respect that. Moxie says, Jinder, no. I don't know if you're getting what you were hoping for there. Sean says, kiss cam reminds me of the one Great Khali used to do. What? Wait. What? I wasn't watching in the Great Khali heyday. Please God, tell me more. Tell me all the things. There was a Great Khali kiss cam. I must know more. My chat on YouTube Live just told me there used to be a Great Khali kiss cam. I do not believe them. They're lying to me, right? I mean, it's just it can't actually be real. No, Sean, no. Riddick Moss is reminding me of Mojo Rawley a lot in this match. Megan says, you know what would be a shock if the kiss cam plant was actually one of their wives. To be fair, if, like, for example, Finn Balor had a kiss cam, it would just be his wife every single week. And it'd be one of those, like, yeah, we know what you're doing. WWE keeps saying we want to change it, and he's just like, yeah, well, nah. Of course. Simon pointing out Carly was called a Punjabi playboy. Dated Natty on screen, had a factor of Natalya and Hornswoggle. That explains why Natalya was snogging him that time. Was Natalya or was it Beth? One of them. Oh, what a crazy world we live in. WWE do some really weird stuff. Okay, so Moss's finisher is called the Punchline. I can't believe he actually won that one. I expected Baron Corbin to be straight out beating the crap out of him. I gotta be honest, he's still reminding me of Mojo Rawley. It's the whole shoulder barge thing. It's just a shoulder barge. Oh, all the jokes about having no laughing matter. Madcap Moss's push continues. I'm surprised Angel Garza hasn't jumped in next and just like, oh, we'll have another match straight away. That seems to be their thing lately. And Madcap Moss makes out of a statue. Huge heat on Charlotte Flair when she steps into the screen. Drew Gulak just getting in the way of Charlotte. So Drew Gulak is getting some genuine storyline here. It's not a great one, but it's a good start. Adam Pearce just doesn't even say a word. Simon says, remember Beth eliminating the Great Khali from the Royal Rumble 2011? Similar to Chyna entering the Rumble back in the day, Awesome Kong years later too as well. I very fondly remember Chyna entering the Royal Rumble. Very fondly remember that. Just to destroy Mark Henry. We don't realise how actual forward-thinking that storyline is. Mark Henry was suing her for sexual harassment. He was like falsely reporting and he was getting away with it. So she beat the crap out of him. Like, it's actually quite forward thinking compared to what would happen afterwards, because eventually she just decided, no, I fancy him now. What the hell, Chyna? Sean says, here's a trivia question. Can anyone tell me the only member of the Malfoy family to not be in a Slytherin house? No. Although, to be fair, I'm going to give something away now. And it's not that I'm a Slytherin. We all know I'm a Slytherin. I may have at some point written an elaborate Harry Potter themed fan fiction. I believe it went to 16 or 17 chapters. Based largely around well, in the way that Voldemort was revived, based around another older Dark Witch, a Malfoy, like way back when, who was revived in a similar fashion. And, you know, I had a lot of chapters and a lot of work went into that. I think I was 14 and when I initially wrote it. So That Malfoy, maybe? Simon says, will LA Knight still wrestle on SmackDown? Eventually, yes. At the moment, no. We're not going to see him wrestle for a while, it looks like. Not for a while. But we do get to see Drew Gulak interview Charlotte Flair in the draw segment. Sorry, no. Let's do it the Madcap Moss way. We do get to see Drew Gulak interview Charlotte Flair in the draw segment. I mean, there's easier ways to thumbs up. And if you haven't thumbs up yet on the YouTube video, by all means, hit that like. I don't think the chat's full of Harry Potter fans, to be fair, Sean. Plus, to be fair, it's not that busy a chat right now. The watch-alongs don't attract quite as many people as the spoiler warning shows, because people ultimately tune in for the news, as it were. I'm always glad when people stick around for the watch parties, but I know that like you guys are the hardcores, and spoiler warning is for the casuals, basically. I mean, that's a good way to do it. Good way to do it. You're hardcore is what I'm saying. Okay, apparently breaking news. Winner take all unification match between the Usos and RKBro is official for Backlash. Wow. They are going all in here. And the thing is, there are tag teams. There's quite a few tag teams, in fact. They don't need to do this. A lovely introduction to Drew Gulak from Pat McAfee. Michael Cole just walks straight over him. Solid intro from Drew Gulak. I don't think she can be upset with that introduction. She seems pretty happy with the whole situation. I'm just hoping that with Drew Gulak in this position, maybe he'll be allowed to ask questions which make some fucking sense. The amount of times it's been a case of, hi, so Charlotte, you were in a match at WrestleMania. What do you think about pegs? Yeah. WWE interviewers are scripted to be dumb as rocks. It's awful. I could go somewhere with that. I could go somewhere. I could make a character. I can make a character who's literally just a WWE backstage interviewer who doesn't quite know where he is. Would come up to like Ezekiel and just be like, so tell me about your time as Elias. And you're like, what is this crap? You know? What is it crap? Wells Pedal says, I'd have loved to read your fanfiction about Potter's extreme WWF run with Hardcore Holly as Hardcore Harry. Oh, that's good. That's good. I will absolutely take that. Drew Gulak splits the ropes for Charlotte. I'm sorry, but her music is just a bop. Oh god, Megan, I've just seen what you sent on. Oh, no. 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 Simon says, I think Drew Gulak just saved his job by being a backstage interviewer. Ella and I got the rumoured Adam Cole Keith Lee combination push, which Adam Cole himself has said did not happen. So I'm confident we're not going to see a feud between Charlotte Flair and Drew Gulak, but it's building to something. Moneymaker says they better not have Sasha and Naomi lose on Monday. To be fair, you're going to say that about every single Sasha Banks match. We know you. Megan says, I'm miserable about LA Knight and misery loves company, so enjoy. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. These are very different shows, these watch parties. I have so much fun at them. We've still only had maybe 15 minutes of wrestling so far in the hour. We've got at least 2 matches to come. At least 2. Hopefully slightly more, but at least 2. Drew Gulak's about to make some enemies. Megan says, oh, come on. What kind of friend would I be if I didn't satisfy by your curiosity about the Kali kiss cam? Good work from Charlotte. She's saying she didn't tap out, she was fixing her bra. Which, to be fair, most of the men in that crowd will not understand. Megan, your argument is technically sound. And of all people who would answer the question, you always answer the question and then some. So I can't argue. Sergio says, 1 hour into Smackdown, have you been enjoying the show? It's been okay. I don't like how little wrestling there's been. And the last 10 minutes or so have been average at best. But it started pretty hot. The first match was pretty good. John says, haven't seen Io in 2 weeks on NXT. Then they have nothing from her or for her, or are they getting her ready for a call-up? Bit of both. Bit of both. Io Shirai, they don't seem to want to call her up, or she doesn't want to be called up at all. Something's going on. Brutalizing Drew Gulak, whose storyline at the moment seems to be Broken Man. I kind of want Drew Gulak to punch her in the face, but I also really don't. Auditioning now for the role of Broken Man is the WWE's Drew Gulak. I think he got the part, guys. Interesting, Megan. I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to there. I'll need to look into that at some point. Or, of course, you can talk about it now. Whatever works for you. Jermaine says, I think it's funny that the 2 people that taught Sasha how to fight Ronda at the Royal Rumble in 2019, if you watch Sasha's video, was Drew Gulak and Charlotte Flair. Oh, she's attacking him. Oh, she's attacked him. She's going to tap out Drew Gulak. Okay, the most upsetting thing about all of this is that he looks fucking beautiful. Look at that suit. Look at that suit and look what they're doing to him. Gotcha, Megan. In the blood. I get what you're saying. Charlotte, don't bridge. Okay, I thought there was more risk involved in that bridge. I think she's probably checked it. Well, Drew Gulak was on TV this week. Didn't exactly get the rub. It's all feeling a bit Jeff Jarrett's Good Housekeeping match. Sean says, I hope Cora beats Natalya when they have their match. Wouldn't make sense for Natalya to win. You say that, but then Dolph Ziggler. Moneymaker says, if Sasha and Naomi lose on Monday, then winning at WrestleMania was pointless, and having a 2-week title run would be a slap in the face to Sasha and Naomi and make them look like weak champions. Are you following the story at all? Because the story is not about them. So I find it unlikely. Also, losing a championship doesn't negate the fact that you won the championship. Sean says, will we see Gunther tonight? Probably. I find it very likely that we see him smash crap out of someone else. Makes sense to me. Makes sense. I forgot that Sami Zayn and Drew... Nope, not Drew Gulak. The Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre was happening. We're getting at least 3 matches in the second half, guys. At least 3 matches. I especially like that I was talking about Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre literally on the spoiler warning before last week's Smackdown. I love when a plan comes together. Now, I expect Sami to keep running. Just makes the most sense to me. Sean says, Ricochet main events you think before Roman? Sadly, I do not. I think the final wrestling match of the night will be Jimmy Uso versus Matt Riddle. In the meantime, Drew McIntyre is en route to the ring. He's going to wave his sword around. He's going to give it a good waggle. And he's going to try and catch him as Sami Zayn. This match will not last very long. Simon says, isn't Ronda there tonight, Tom? I don't believe she is. Certainly I haven't heard anything about her being there. She has responsibilities and she's not booked to appear every single week. Sergio says, Gunther versus McIntyre would be interesting. I agree. I very much agree, especially when you consider that McIntyre is the one who eliminated Gunther, well, Walter as he was then, from the Survivor Series team when it was the Triple Threats. We are in our first commercial break after the hour, so I'm just going to quickly take myself a bathroom break, refresh my drink and so on and so forth. I'll be back very soon. Please don't go anywhere and I'll see you in just a moment. Hello again, everyone. Apologies for nearly missing a Sami Zayn promo. Simon says, fair enough, after all, she's a new mother to a 6-month-old newborn baby. That is true, and I don't think enough is really being said about that. She's doing the best she can to be as available as possible. Sean says, after almost 2 weeks, Cody's return at WrestleMania is at 3.6 million viewers. You may not believe me when I say this, but that's actually low. That's actually quite low compared to where it should be. It's Cody Rhodes. Should be at least 8 million at the minute. Still, that will have made him quite a bit of money. Oh, if I could get 3.6 million viewers on one video. That would genuinely give me enough for a year. It's like a year's salary right there. Okay, so Sami's going to stand and fight. Do we believe that? No, we do not. Why don't we believe that? Because it's not true. It's not true. There is no chance of it happening. He's already running away. He's already running away. This whole running away storyline is going to be running until WrestleMania Backlash. There is no doubt in my mind about that. It's not impossible that this match ends up as a pre-show match as well. Always worth pointing out. Sami's continuing to run away. He's crawling over the Sami. Oh, wow. Okay, Michael Cole, you've lost a chair. Pat McAfee's been used as a human shield. Pat McAfee gets a high five as well. Getting the rub from Drew McIntyre is always going to be quite a fun thing. Sami's still just trying to run away. With limited success. Let's say limited success. I think we can say limited success. Could be worse. Could be better. Sami seems unhappy. Something seems to be upsetting him. He's saying he's not scared, which is nice. Sami getting the big toss. Now, I know many of you would also quite enjoy the big toss from Drew McIntyre. The moment has not come yet. Sean says, I saw an article from Fightful about Toni Storm. She said WWE wasn't for her. Yeah, it wasn't. And she knew that pretty much from the off. Drew McIntyre went for the Claymore. Sami Zayn went to escape again. Sami's getting Claymore. Oh, good dodge. Holds on to the ropes to escape. And he's off. He's off again. It's not an outsmart. It's just an outplay. He's just away. You can't reach him. You can't get close to the guy. He's wily. Like a coyote. Like a little coyote. And it's over. It's another count-out victory for McIntyre. This is going to last a long time. Just like a long time. I can't even call this a rebuild for Sami. He's just sort of here as part of it. Running away. Drew McIntyre has not caught up to Sami. That's about a 15-minute segment there, more than I expected. Considering we have more matches to come. Gunter up next? Or maybe Gunter's been cut. Kayla Braxton backstage on the mic. We're going straight into a second match, it looks like. Ricochet. So it's Ricochet and Jinder up next. He's not going to have to be flawless to defend against Jinder Mahal. I mean, come on. Come on. Just, come on. Let's be serious. Ah, thank you, Sean. I must have missed that. It says, Gunter was shown in a dark room with Ludwig in a segment. Well, that may be all they get. Raquel Gonzalez? Lacey Evans? Segments for them, yeah? Logically, we should still be getting segments for them. Definitely more from Lacey Evans. Feel confident of that. I can't not hear Ricochet's old theme. It was a banger. I don't think I've ever missed a theme more. Yeah. I don't think there's any WWE theme I'm missing more than Ricochet's. His music was an absolute banger. Megan agrees, says Ricochet's old theme was fire. And I cannot argue with that. Okay, one more commercial break. 2 matches left. It is indeed going to be Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso in our main event match segment. As long as there is a Roman, it will be the main event match. It'll never actually be the main event. Roman is always the main event. In much the same way Becky Lynch said wherever she is on the card, she's the main event. With Roman Reigns, that's actually true. Two-thirds of the way through, this SmackDown's been quite formulaic. We got a build to a tag match, a build to another tag match, Charlotte Flair being Charlotte Flair, Drew McIntyre and Sami Zayn doing exactly what they did last week. I don't feel like we're progressing per se. I don't feel like we're actually moving forwards. I wouldn't necessarily say it feels like we're standing still, but it definitely doesn't feel like we're moving forwards. Which for me just, it's not really good enough. We should at least have some forward momentum here. We've just come off WrestleMania. This does not feel like we've just come off WrestleMania. Moxie says, Tom, what do you think is the best way to hold a championship? I'm saying the way Roman holds it. Moxie, I completely agree. The best way to hold a championship is to have someone next to you holding it for you. And that is the way. I get what you mean, the way he slings it over his shoulder. I don't think that's a great way to hold a championship. I strongly remember Mick Foley trying to get him to fix the way he held a championship when he was the US champion way back when. It's disrespectful to the belt. But what can I say? Roman's changed things. Roman does his own thing and everyone else just sort of goes, ah, yes, Roman. Including me. I'm sorry, in my head, Ricochet's old theme is still playing. The dun, 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 dun. I miss it so much. So much. Oh, you mean when he... Right, okay. Probably the way The Rock did it then, when it was on the back of his hand, when he held it up. Sean says, I was told by someone who states Billy Batty as their source that Nick Khan wants the brand split to end. Okay, so I'm going to break this down in detail based on the words of the man himself. Billy Batty's sources are for match finishes because his sources are based upon betting. Essentially, Billy Batty has openly stated in interviews that the information that he gets is because wrestlers want to bet on their own match finishes. He's basically fixing the betting, and he openly stated this. Does that sound like someone who would get information that Nick Khan wants the brand split to end? Does it sound like he would get any information about Nick Khan when what he does is essentially enable wrestlers to bet on their own matches? Doesn't sound like it to me. Simon says, Sean Ross Sapp said the match changed an hour before the show. The Sasha versus rematch. Better to protect Sasha from 2 back-to-back losses, especially in her hometown. So, he's gotten segments wrong for several weeks, and after the fact he's now said, oh yeah, plans changed. Couldn't just say he was wrong. No, absolutely not. Adam Pearce not happy with Sami Zayn. Cage? Give me a cage. Give me a steel cage. Give me a steel cage. Oh, lumberjack. Okay. Okay. We're going to see just how small the Smackdown roster is. A lumberjack match. Does SmackDown have enough people to fill those spots? Yeah, I don't think they do. It's been a while since I've heard the phrase modern day Maharaja. Pardon me, guys, I do apologise. I'm a little tired. Sean says, thoughts on Veer Mahan so far? He is there. Yeah, sorry, that's it. That's all I got. He's there. There is nothing else to really say about the guy. He's just sort of there. I'm glad he came. I think I say this from like a real place of pride and honour. Like, as a man, I'm glad he came. But I'm not impressed by the fact that he came. It's not enough just to come. It's not enough. You also have to impress the people you're with, you know? Oh, Megan. Oh, Megan. Says lumberjack or lumberjackass. Oh, Megan. Oh, that is a good line. That is beautiful. I'll be interested to see how, if at all, Shanky gets involved here. Nice to see Jinder Mahal in a good spot here. Hasn't earned this opportunity, but he never really earned the opportunity for the WWE Championship either. But he was champion for like 6 months. You remember when he used to be the crap out of Shinsuke Nakamura on a regular basis with all the racism? Do you remember the racism? Do you remember the racism? Moxie says Brock versus Jinder would have been good. It would not. It would not. No, it would not. No, no. No, no. God, no. No, no. 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 Just don't. Just stop. Just stop. Ricochet continues to show off the athleticism. The crowd are responding really well, which is half the battle. This does feel like a solid push for Ricochet. As someone who, according to Peter Insider, has been ranked as the number 2 babyface on SmackDown, I certainly expect him to continue getting the rub of the green. Okay, so we have that recoil thing. Moxie says, Jinder and Brock should main event WrestleMania. Y'all are crazy. All I want to say is that y'all are crazy. I like you. But you're crazy. Shanky has gotten involved. And Ricochet says, fly. Sean says if Sammy doesn't take the title from Ricochet, then who should? Maybe Drew? I don't know. Honestly, I'd be happy for Ricochet to just hold the championship for a while. Just for a while, you know? Let him keep hold. Let him keep putting on exhibition matches. Like that. Oh, Megan with a good call. Gunter would be a very good Intercontinental Champion. Certainly, as he is now, he'd look very good with that belt. Certainly, I think Ricochet would sell pretty hard for the guy. The balance that Kidman never had. That's rude, Michael Cole. Ricochet's shooting star press was a little bit short, a little tiny bit short. Still very impressive. Also, most importantly, he didn't break his neck, which is what usually happens on a shooting star press, as we all know. No one's ever managed a shooting star and not broken their neck. We all know this. Sarah Shriver backstage with Fight Night. No Fight Night segment this week. No New Day this week. What are the big names missing this week? Sean says, do you see Pretty Deadly having a lengthy reign as NXT Tag Team Champions? By NXT standards, yes, I do. And by that I mean maybe 4 or 5 months. We're getting just a recap of Butch beating the crap out of his own people. Butch still not the happiest person. Okay, we're establishing the Fight Night sometimes just beat the shit out of each other. I'm okay with that because I've been in households like that. Every now and then a fight breaks out and you're just like, why is this happening? Just to be clear though, why is this happening? Sure, no one's mentioned Pete Dunne. No one's mentioned Pete Dunne. Someone 7 just says, Butch. It's Butch. Oh, I misspoke, Megan Rant. I misspoke and I apologise. They've lost him. He's gone. I don't understand this. He's gone. I'd imagine he's going straight to wherever the New Day. I'm getting behind this, but the Scrappy Doo energy is real. I'm actually going to find my tweet about that and just retweet it. Alright, how do we do this? From Collarhue Scrappy. That should be all I need to do. I've learned recently about advanced search on Twitter. It's not bad. It's quite handy. Yep, April 4th. Butch gives off proper Scrappy Doo energy. I'm just going to retweet it every single time. Just every time. Simon says, save the Sasha versus Rhea dream match for a big TV pay-per-view singles feud program match down the line. Are we not saving things for Naomi as well? Moxie says, Butchie's getting ready for Vince. Jinder versus Vince, now that is a WrestleMania main event. Moxie, eventually I'm just going to mute you, and you know this, right? You know this. Just stop, just stop, just stop, just stop, just stop. Just stop. I never want to see Vince wrestle again. I don't really want to see him again. I feel he's done enough now that he doesn't have to be putting people over, and yet here he is still putting people over. In a way. Like, after a fashion. It's hard to really say he's putting over Austin Theory at this point, especially when he has him lose at WrestleMania. Just spotted. So I've been scripting out my intro for the video tomorrow. I've been scripting out the whole thing, but I'll start with the intro and then I'll start typing it. Just to read it out. Cody Rhodes is the first major name to move from AEW to WWE and shake up wrestling in the process. Today we're going to look at how it happened, who was right and who was wrong, and why. You should like and subscribe here to hear the details first. I'm Tom Collihue and let's talk wrestling. That's my intro for the video. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm very excited for this video tomorrow. It's all scripted out and I'm reading through and just being like, yeah. Sean says, I hope someone other than Austin beats Finn for the US title. We all have our dreams. We all have our hopes and dreams, and this one might not come to pass. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. This one might not be, you know, hashtag it. So WrestleMania Backlash does look set to see Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins facing off again. If you've been following spoiler warning, that is something I've discussed quite at length. We are essentially killing time a little bit with Cody Rhodes until he's ready for the big one. The big one, of course, being Roman Reigns. Simon says the UK tour in Newcastle, which I'm going to in a few weeks. It's Sasha versus Charlotte again, which I saw in Leeds back in November. Great match. We have seen a lot of Sasha versus Charlotte. It seems to be the whole, I have no idea what storyline people are in, so let's just give it Sasha versus Charlotte. But hey, it sells. It sells. We have 25 minutes left. And what can I say? I don't have the highest of hopes. Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso should be a good match, but at the same time, it's what we always get. The New Day are backstage, signing photos. Butchie's going to destroy them. Oh, wow, he flew straight over the table. Straight over the table. That was oddly beautiful. Fight Night just destroying the New Day backstage. They found Butch, guys. They found him. Simon says the same in Leipzig. Then in Paris and London, it's Roman versus Charlotte Flair. Ronda versus Charlotte Flair. Roman only appearing in London and Paris. Roman's working a truncated amount of time. He is not working on a limited date contract, though every now and then it just seemed that way. Oh, here comes our Lacey Evans segment. The harrowing, he said, and traumatic childhood. Let's see what she's got. Sean says, how long do you think these backstage vignettes of Lacey will last before she is back in the ring? I'm going to say about a month. We're not going to get too long. They were, of course, all recorded at once, much as the therapist vignettes were over Alexa Bliss. Lots of costume changes in them, but no costume changes here. I'm not sure how much we're going to get behind Lacey Evans for this. I know that she's going to be looked at as a top face, and there will definitely still be a lot between her and Charlotte. But at the same time, you know, toughness is something that a lot of people are really focused on in the WWE. And it's a perception, and it's not the greatest perception, but it's a perception nonetheless. And you do take away from it a little bit on this. I've just found an amazing guy. An amazing guy has just subscribed on YouTube. Thank you very much. You're an amazing guy. I also believe you commented on one of the videos, well, the video earlier. Amazing guy. I apologise I didn't respond on tap for that one. You did. You responded. You commented a couple of times. Thank you very kindly for that subscription. I hope we continue to create content that you enjoy and want to comment on. Today we are doing a watch party for WWE Smackdown. We are watching Lacey Evans having a bit of a moment in the build to her return. The very in-depth vignettes, and a lot of this, to be clear, is real. It's clear that the WWE believe her life story will make people really get behind her, hence why the life story is coming out as it is. Another Marine mention. She mentions being a Marine, the crowd cheer. Doesn't matter if she's not there, the crowd are cheering for her. They know what they've got there. Not sure Shayna Baszler and Natalya would get that strong a boo, gotta be honest. Looks like we're shaping up for a Baszler versus Evans feud. Shayna's just looking at all the clothing, just pure background acting. Sean says Roman was at Raw this week in a dark match. Surprised they didn't use him on the show. He's expected to be on both Raw and SmackDown going forwards. Raquel's in play. Everyone always seems to start against Natalya. Everyone. I'm liking this Shayna. It's like, yeah, you want that? No. So I dare say we've had all the vignettes that we were expecting, all the background stuff. We have 20 minutes left. I don't think we're getting Roman tonight. With 20 minutes left, and of course, at least 2 commercial breaks, one of which will be coming in very soon. I would be very surprised, if we saw Roman tonight, when you consider as well the amount of time it takes him to walk down to the ring. Looks like Riddle versus Jimmy Uso is going to be our main event tonight, which I don't hate. It's going to be a match worth the it's going to be a good match, basically, is what I'm trying to say. Riddle gets very confusing pyro. Simon says, think they're still doing Sasha and Naomi versus Natty and Shayna at WrestleMania Backlash for the women's tag team titles? I do. At least for now. Though it depends, because that does throw a spanner in the works. If it's going to be Natalya versus Raquel Rodriguez... Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I got that right. Versus Raquel Rodriguez from the off, that certainly raises a lot of questions about what happens next. You know, who's going to feud with who? So we'll see how it actually plays out, because lots of different possibilities. But I don't know. It's throwing a cat amongst the pigeons a little bit. Okay, I've not really tracked what's going on with the whole wedding thing. This feels like they're trying to recapture what's happened in NXT recently with the horny-off, the competitive horny-off. Ammo welcome says, who do you think should beat Roman? A little bit from both sides. I do believe, and I do think what we're going to see is Cody Rhodes winning the WWE Championship at SummerSlam and Drew McIntyre winning the Universal Championship at the Cardiff pay-per-view, whatever that may be, in September in the UK. That's what I personally think is the most likely scenario. However, I can't sit here and say that's definitely going to happen one way or the other because, you know, there's too many moving parts. There's just too many moving parts at play. Who I think should beat Roman? It's Shinsuke Nakamura. I would absolutely love it if what actually happens is that Shinsuke Nakamura takes on Roman at WrestleMania Backlash and just wins both championships. I've been saying that one for a while, just because Shinsuke Nakamura is the only guy left, really, and it would take him immediately to main event. Immediately. It would be like Brock Lesnar and Eddie Guerrero way back when, you know, it was a proper change of the guard moment. Brock Lesnar completely vanquished, and I don't think Drew McIntyre or Cody Rhodes really benefit from beating Roman. When you built Roman up this big, whoever beats him should be on a massive wave of momentum. You are saying this guy is the guy. And I think Shinsuke Nakamura is perfectly placed to be that guy. I just don't think they're going to be brave enough to do it. I'd be doing that all day, every day, but I don't think they're brave enough to do it. Megan says it would be a shock in a good way if it was Shinsuke. I agree. I think the annoying thing, as always with WWE, is how easy it would be. You'd have a new person as champion with new competitors. You could have Shinsuke versus Sheamus, for example, immediately walking into it. You can have Shinsuke versus Corbin, immediately walking into it. You have opportunities for brand new people. Immediately they have those opportunities. Now, it doesn't feel as big as Roman Reigns, so to speak, but you could also have Shinsuke versus Seth, Shinsuke versus Owens, etc. You know, you've got people lined up beautifully. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Edge for the Undisputed Championship. Shinsuke gets all the benefit from that, and I think he would be absolutely perfect to take that championship and just basically grab hold with both hands and just become the guy. As I say, I don't think there's any chances they'll actually do that. Sad but true. Next week we do indeed have Madcap Moss versus Angel Garza. I'm trying to do the pronunciation right. I speak a bit of Spanish. And the lumberjack match between Sami Zayn and Drew McIntyre, which, by the way, Sami Zayn will escape. Sean says, which of these matches was better, Brock versus AJ or Brock versus Daniel Bryan? I'm going to be honest with you, Sean. They were exactly the same match. Exactly. If you watch them side by side, they are exactly the same match. So I honestly can't pick between because they are exactly the same match. Megan says, I wonder how many NXT guys will be in the lumberjack pile considering how slim the Smackdown roster is now. To be fair, they might have to bring people in from Raw. Maybe we'll see Drew Gulak. They are further advertising the unification match at Backlash between RKBro and the Usos. As you know, or at least as many of you know, it's not paranoia. It's not. It is the Usos. It is the Usos. It's not paranoia. It is the Usos. Moxie says AJ and Bryan are the best wrestlers in the world. Yeah, I agree. I certainly have always thought that about AJ. Daniel Bryan, I've seen more of his work, and now he's incredible. Absolutely incredible. We are live and in action. There are 13 minutes left, and the ring bell has only just gone. So we are not seeing Roman Reigns tonight. The Usos essentially doing the whole thing at this point. We could still, of course, see Shinsuke Nakamura if he decides to get involved, and I hope he does, because, you know, otherwise what's the point? Simon says, I think the Cardiff pay-per-view will be called No Mercy Insurrection Rebellion like back in the day. Then the Saudi show in October is rumoured to be TLC. I mean, that works. That's very much legitimising the Saudi Arabia shows, but we are where we are. Moxie says the Usos are winning those Raw tag team belts. I agree. I absolutely agree. A lot of people have said never say never. I don't like that, but it is what it is. For anyone currently watching on YouTube as we start to wrap up, please remember that you can click like on the video, and that will that potentially increases the amount of advertising that YouTube does for the video, meaning that we potentially find new people. Pardon me, I find new people to hit like, new subscribers, and the channel continues to grow. As we grow, obviously that's just plus, because it will get me closer and closer to a point where I potentially could go full time. Now, I'm nowhere close to that at the moment. I'm only about 10% of the way there. But that's still not a bad start. It's still not a bad start. Sean says, with SummerSlam in July, will there be in August a premium live event? There will not. It doesn't look like it. It looks like what is going to happen is that we're going to get 2 in July. That'd be Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. And then they're going to basically just bugger off to the UK. They're off. They're going to leave. They're just going to go. Just going to run away like Sami Zayn from a Claymore. They're gone. Moxie says, I think the UK pay-per-view will be Clash of Champions or Extreme Rules. I think it'll be something horribly named, horribly themed. Something like Great British Carnage or something silly like that. 3 minutes into the match, we have another commercial break, which will be our last one. There is always one about 10 minutes before the end. That's not Smackdown deciding that. That's apparently an American thing. In my brief time over in Florida, I was really confused by the fact that you'd have a commercial break and then 1 minute of the TV show. The last minute of TV show would just be after a commercial break. Baffling. Megan says it's going to be great balls of fire with hundreds of dragon motifs and graphics. It'll be great Dragon Balls of Fire. Goodness gracious. Great Dragon Balls of Fire. I say things and then I regret them massively. As we're heading into the last 10 minutes, I'm just going to take a minute and say thank you guys for bearing with me. I was late on because of some technical issues. I had to come out and go back in after 3 minutes because of technical issues. And let's just pretend that the break that happened about an hour and 10 minutes ago was down to further technical issues. Let's just say that was further technical issues and not my amazing density. Let's just say that. I think maybe I can get away with that. I can say those words. I'm allowed. It's all right. It's not a problem. Someone screwed up and it may have been me. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But I want to thank everyone for bearing with me. It's been a bit of a up and down show, bit of a strange one, but it's been a show nonetheless. Simon says maybe they have a non-finish Monday in the Sasha match, have the final title deciding match at Backlash. Certainly not impossible. Same thing could of course happen for the winner-take-all match between the Usos and RKBro. We could have Roman getting involved, DQ finish. Both teams retain their championships. Being clear here, I don't want that. but I certainly think it's a possibility. Slowly but surely we're getting there. Slowly but surely. Smackdown tonight's been a very missable show. Just very missable. If you haven't watched this one, then there's no reason to watch it. Nothing's really been advanced. Nothing's really been changed. There hasn't really been much in the way of evolution. There's been a couple of teases. Natalya and Raquel Rodriguez, for example. Drew Gulak in his new position. Otherwise, nothing noteworthy has happened. Nothing at all. I don't know. I don't get it. We can be confident that on Monday we're going to see Jey Uso versus Randy Orton, of course, as they continue to build towards this match, but there's a lot of tag teams being left on the shelf by this. Street Profits. No sign of the Gable off yet, which is just disappointing to me. You guys know I want that Gable off. I am pro Gable off. Just a little disappointed in the show tonight, you know? The wrestling's been okay, but there haven't been that many matches. I'm just a little disappointed in the whole thing. Sean says, I wish they would stop the unification matches. Hopefully the women's titles don't get unified. I very much doubt they will. But hey, WrestleMania 39's main event could be the biggest WrestleMania main event in history. Ronda Rousey, SmackDown Women's Champion. Becky Lynch, Raw Women's Champion. Winner take all, because they've not done a woman's winner take all yet at WrestleMania in the main event. I don't think they could sell that. Taking Charlotte out of it, it makes it a smaller match. It does. It absolutely does. Randy Orton's trying to keep Riddle on the case. Simon said the tag team division will be very much harmed by title unification. No TV time at all for Otis and Gable. The Street Profits, Viking Raiders, it will very greatly hurt them in the long run. Correct. Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with either tag division. Absolutely nothing wrong with either. We've got the people. Just give them a chance. I don't know, maybe that's just me being insane and actually wanting things to happen. Sean says Roman versus Rock was teased on a recent episode of Young Rock. Yeah, because people listen. The fans want it. WWE haven't really teased it. But the fans want it, so people listen. Moxie says, Tom, who do you see main eventing night 1 and night 2 of WrestleMania 39? Roman, Becky. I can see it being something like Roman and Bobby for night 1, Becky and Ronda for night 2. I think 39 will be a women's main event. Bailey says Young Rock has more viewers than most WWE programming. You're right. You're absolutely right. But it does it's a feeder. It sort of feeds viewers towards WWE in the same way that the Total Divas and Total Bella stuff did. It continues to push viewership in a certain direction, that direction being the WWE. Moxie believes we're getting Roman versus The Rock, which I've been hearing that a lot, just a lot, for years. For years. It's one of those, I'll believe it when I see it. No Roman Reigns, no Shinsuke Nakamura. All about Randy Orton and Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle picks up the win, meaning that the Usos are laid low at the end of that one. RKBro are holding up the Raw Tag Team Championships and not the Smackdown. They seem happy enough just having the Raw ones. Randy Orton just seems very happy at the moment. Sean says, slim chances RKBro unify the tag belts. Slim but not impossible. I'm feeling Usos for this one, but I'm not feeling certain about it, you know? There's wiggle room. There's different ways it could go. Who'd have thought RKBro would last for more than a year? Not too long now, and RKBro will have lasted longer than The Shield. They're advertising unification one more time. I think they finished too early because they're just running down the card again. They've even thrown up the 3D again. Right. So, that was WWE Smackdown. It was missable. Kind of a waste of a show. It wasn't great, basically. It wasn't great. As usual when there's no Roman. As usual when there's no Shinsuke, to be honest. We're missing a few key figures, is what I'm trying to say. But, other than that, the wrestling was okay. The balance of matches was good. The opening promo was fantastic. Randy Orton certainly did a lot for this show. But for me, it's just not quite enough. Just not quite enough. I will be back with a video tomorrow on YouTube. And I will be back with the usual Sunday night show, 10 PM on Sunday. In the meantime, thank you everyone. I've been Tom Colahue. You've been fantastic. I'll see you all very soon.